And I think that we miss Christ's entire earthly ministry. The way he went about doing his deal was meeting needs.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I mean, he talks about the kingdom of God, but he talks about the kingdom of God now.
Yeah.
You know, of course, the kingdom of God is coming,
right?
But there's a kingdom of God now, and this is how you operate in it, and you get the Beatitudes,
so,
as it were.
Going with that, yesterday I was going from campus. Just took a test, and I was going to eat lunch. I was walking by. I think I made an A, B on it. But and I was walking by, and there are these guys that get out there like once a week or stuff, and they show pictures of dead fetuses, all about like anti-abortion and stuff like that. So they stopped me, and I was like, "Look, I understand what you're doing. I know what I believe." Blah blah. And then it started this not conflict, but this talk. And I like the one question I had was, "Is this glorifying Christ?"
Mm.
And they would never answer it. Because I just, me personally, can't see that doing it. I don't see Christ's life doing that.
Right.
I see him meeting needs and not scaring people away from stuff.
I'm a scared 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And I got an abortion because my father raped me.
Yeah.
And I had to walk past you. I mean, and now, well, I'm in college now, but I was 13 then, and now I'm walking past you with abortion fetuses, and you're trying to tell me that God hates me or whatever. That I don't know what it says. I mean, I'm just saying that's the heart that people don't see.
Yeah.
Now, maybe she had, whatever. I don't know, and I'm not there to tell her what she shouldn't have done or whatever. But the heart behind what you're saying,
Well, see, look, that's
glorifying
why
God. Is that benefiting her?
Yeah.
Is that elevating her out of her sin and darkness? I mean, like, she's miserable.
Well, people inquire, often about why didn't Paul, out of all the issues that he spoke to, and why didn't Christ, out of all the issues that he dealt with, why did he deal specifically with slavery? With all of the slavery that was going on, indentured slaves and just outright slavery, and then, of course, Rome, millions of people, most of the populace of Rome were slaves.
Yeah.
Why didn't he deal with it? Well, those sort of social concerns. Now I believe that at certain times, certain places, this stuff need to be dealt with. I'm thankful for the civil rights movement and what it did for me and how I benefit from that. But I think that Christ and Paul did not actually deal with those issues specifically because they were just symptoms.
Yeah, that's right.
Deal with the problem and the sin. John MacArthur said this. Before I was born, like in 1973, he said that the devil doesn't even believe that the devil works in bars and pornography, and he says it's enough human lust to deal with that.
Yeah.
He said where the devil works is inside the church.
That's right.
That's where he really is. But I said all that to say that if we dealt with the real issue of a person's problem, if I change your heart, like Onesimus, isn't that his name in Philemon?
Sure.
Sounds about right. Let's go.
But anyway, the dude gets saved, and he sends him back, and he tells him, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to treat this guy right. He's still your slave, but I'm gonna need you to treat him right."
Right.
And so he ends up treating him obviously as a brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So deal with the real issue.
That's right, and I think that's. I mean, and that's what talking about Galatians. I've been in Galatians 5 for like 2 years, I think, and just going back to that. I mean,
3 years.
The results.
Yeah, 3 years.
The results of selfishness are all these things that we're talking about, and so we look at that. We look again. We're not looking at the space between.
I like that. I'm going to have to really do.
We're looking at the end. We're looking at she shouldn't have got an abortion. Oh, he shouldn't have got wasted and drove his car into a store. She shouldn't have cussed him out or whatever. Whatever that level that we give it. These are the bad ones, the really bad ones, and these ones. No, they all are rooted in selfishness that spans into this result. Yeah. So slavery, abortion, whatever those things are results or effects of a cause. Yeah. What gets you to that point? And I think that's like you're saying. That's what we I feel like that's the bigger issue.
Well, may I also say this on those lines, and you speak to this, you and Dylan both, please. You don't know why I did what I did.
Right.
I think that we miss that sometimes. I think that we say that the end result is so grotesque that we never look at the catalyst, the origin. What made me do what I did?
I mean, to go with that, every single human, like we'll just use ISIS for example. They do these horrible atrocities. So did the Nazis with these things. But if we as normal people were pushed to the limits, we are equally capable of doing perfect acts.
Yep.
And we think we can.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what's so
That's
interesting
what
to
it
me
is.
is like how could that person murder that kid or rape that person or do? And look, I don't ever have those proclivities or whatever those words are.
Proclivities?
I don't know. What is that? Is that a word?
Yeah. It is now. We made it.
It's the Holy Spirit trying to reveal it.
Basically, my point is, I
don't.
don't really usually think, I should go rape this person or murder this person. But my point is, if someone were to come into my home and harm my family, I don't know how quickly I wouldn't just not pull my gun and shoot them and kill them, or you know what I'm saying?
I'm pulling my gun.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
And so I mean, the point is, it's all there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and whether we go the limit of saying, somebody calls me to do it. I mean, that cause could have been like someone talked to you wrong at school, and so you went in school, or someone brushed by you in the grocery store and didn't say anything, like excuse me or anything, and so you go and get an attitude with them and cause this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like
And again, they don't take time in that space to process what just happened and how to handle
And then
it.
you got to categorize things. You got to process it because just because somebody brushed you in the store doesn't mean that the guy who maybe put a ding in your door outside deserves a beating.
Right.
Maybe the guy inside who brushed you who deserved a beating.
That's right.
But you got to get some time to process it, and we don't take that. Oh yeah, you come in my house. Let's get back to that.
What's a code word in case I ever have to break into your house so you don't shoot me?
yeah, I need a code word. That way, if
I can tell you, just say I'm white. If you say, I'm like, he's not really here to get anything. He's but other
he's
than
just
that,
to check on me. He's here to check on
that's
me.
right.
Are you okay, sir? I just wanted to check. There's some random burglaries happening around here.
I'm gonna fill you with some lead. That's just the bottom line. You can't.
I'm white.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Gosh.
That's funny. Yeah, man. I mean, we all have the capacity to do awful and treacherous things, and that's what we have to understand. And so many Christians and so many just human beings try to distance themselves from that reality that they don't handle it. So even just look at pornography, okay? And you're like, oh, it's bad.
Let's
you shouldn't
not look at pornography.
Let's not
take for example.
But let's take for example pornography, and say this is this horrible thing and we shouldn't do it. And so if all you do is set up your whole life saying I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do this. I mean, you're fighting against something that's not even worth fighting for. You're supposed to be fighting for what is it in there, And so we all have this in us to do these wretched things, and until we realize, because I haven't looked at pornography and you have, that doesn't mean that I am, or whoever didn't, is better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It means that
was my particular sin.
That means So what are you doing? You probably have a little bit of pride because you're saying I ain't have it. Whatever that is.
And then watch this. I mean, of course, I think you boil it all down to sin. But let me just say this first: you boil pornography down to selfishness. But pride. God, that's one of the 7 things that God hates.
Yeah.
And so people argue. I've heard people say this all the time that it irks me. He made me angry, but I didn't curse. Yeah, but you're prideful.
Yeah.
So I'd really rather you curse than for you to be
That's
prideful.
Because I would laugh at the cursing.
Yeah.
Your pride would just noise the hell out of me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, noise the hell out of me. Hey, but that's crazy though. And look, I was how you take you record on with Siri. So I'm trying to record with Siri, and I'm trying to use the word sin. Now I know I'm not the best. I got a little bit of ebonics in me. I'm saying sin, but she will not take sin, and I believe that's the way the world is. They don't want to say it's sin. They want to say it's a dysfunction or
Yeah.
it's an issue and that's the real problem. Get down to the bottom line and say this is a sin issue. We could deal with it so that your sin of arrogance and my sin of murder, when it really comes down to it, and of course socially that's one thing, but when it comes down to God, it's all the same. It's a major.
Just choosing yourself over Him.
Exactly.
And that's the ultimate. I mean, and that's what sin is. That's all sin is. It's just choosing yourself over God.
Yep.
And sometimes that sin is, I should have probably, read my Bible this morning instead of like ignoring it. I mean, and that's
or you should have shared your cookie.
That's right.
With.
I'll see you later.
But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like, and so it could be something simple like that, or it could be something like, no, I decided to kill my wife and kids because I just didn't want to live anymore, and I didn't want them to live with someone else.
Yeah,
that's equally selfish.
Yep.
And like we try to put these labels and numbers and rates on them, and which is our culture. It's just what we do. We like to rate everything and organize, and that's where selfishness. I mean, that's where slavery comes from. That is where. What do they call it in India? The hierarchy system, the caste system, and so you get all these different types of people, and it's like Jesus came to say you are equal to me, and I am equal to you, and we're all equal.
I can have life and have it more abundantly.
That's right. And you don't have to be rich and famous to do it, and you don't have to be a poor, whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyways. What else you got, Dylan?
What else I got?
New facial hair.
I walked into my parents'
Every
house
time
last
someone
night.
talks about your facial hair, you shave it. So don't shave it. Just because someone
I
says
walked into my
something
parents' house last night, and it was me and my girlfriend. We're going to get basketball tickets to go see the game at
about it.
Southern.
Totally.
First thing, my dad opens the door, says, "You need a razor. There's one in my bathroom." And I'm like, thanks, Dad. I love you too.
Wow.
Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a couple months.
I envy yours. If mine wasn't so black so white rather.
Gives you a wisdom.
Wait.
See,
Okay, wisdom.
I can't wait till I get some white in my beard. I'll tell you what. I mean, I've already got it. Look, there's one right there.
Roy wants to be like 75-year-old grumpy man in the grocery store.
That's right.
You on your way?